and almost last but by no means least, I think the most interesting thing that's coming is the fact that we are at a point where there are different relationships between us and our devices possible. This is my new favorite video on YouTube. That is a Furby, it's an early digital toy, talking to a Siri. Unsurprisingly, this was not a particularly productive conversation. The Siri waggles its eyes and flatters its eyelashes and goes, and the Siri says, "Are you looking for Shell oil?" And the Furby goes, "Do you want Jason?" And this just goes on for quite some time, or at least 45 seconds of sheer delight for me. What this, of course, however, made me realize when I saw this video is the most interesting thing about Siri is not speech technology. It's not about voice recognition. It's not about the fact that she talks. The most interesting thing about Siri is the proposition that she listens. And by listening, she offers a human possibility that this is going to be a relationship, not an interaction. And that what Siri is proposing to do is look after you. As imperfectly as she does, that is staging a very different notion about what technology is going to do in our lives moving forward. It won't be us controlling the technology, it will be us in relationship with the technology. And for those of you in the room who are science fiction buffs, I do believe we can do that without the devices wanting to kill us. Because I know there was a science fiction fantasy that says devices get smart enough to have conversations with us and then kill us. This is, Cyberdyne, the Terminator, just go down the path, right? I actually think it's possible to imagine staging a relationship with these devices where they don't kill us later. But, I guess I could be wrong about that. And then last, by no means least, I think you have to ask the question of, as all of these changes come, as we look to a world with more devices, a complexity of connectivity, a complexity of people's relationships to devices and the experiences they're having, I think we have to ask the question about who's going to regulate all of this. And that regulation is really complicated, right? Historically, technologies were regulated out of a department that thought about transportation or infrastructure. And we're talking about, particularly in the case of the internet, a technology that touches on everything. Education, healthcare, religion, community development, our relationships with the rest of the world, and how that sits and nests in terms of regulation becomes a really fascinating and complicated problem. And I wanted to end it there and spend a little bit of time talking to Mark. So thank you so much.